Oh, how's your Lent going? Excuse me, I'll be right with you. Sorry about that. How's your Lent going? I hope it's going well. Sorry about that little distraction right there, too, but if you want to know how God feels, this is probably how he feels most of the time. I bet you felt in second place. There was somebody, something, some gain, some contact, some website that was more important than you, because I'm not giving you my undivided attention when I'm texting on my phone. Well, Lent is all about encounter. We talked about that a few weeks ago. An encounter with God and an encounter with others. And what we find is, I hope this is your experience too, is the more we feel connected with God, the more we feel focused on God, it ends up we are more focused on the important things in our life, and particularly the people that are most important. And really that's what prayer is all about. We talked about prayer and almsgiving and fasting, but actually it's all connected to prayer. Prayer itself is a form of making sacrifices. We have to sacrifice that time. Prayer is in itself a form of actually giving of that time to others as well too, particularly to God. Now a lot of times people ask me, well, how do you make that encounter with God? How do you pray? And I often use a very ancient but very effective formula which can be summed up in the word ACTS, A-C-T-S, adoration, contrition, thanksgiving, and supplication, which is basically the gimme prayer, but it's a good prayer. We have to ask God for things. But you know, sometimes when you think about it, we do a lot more talking in prayer. We also have to learn to do some listening. And I would like to recommend to you that if a lot of your prayer has been full of words, you know, I think probably more has been said about prayer than actually prayer is said. Maybe take the time to become more silent in prayer, more reflective. And I know how hard that is. Sometimes just 5 minutes is difficult. It seems like an eternity. But to actually take the time. In other words, as I've heard it said, don't just do something, stand there. We need to take that time and to put ourselves in God's presence and, to put it quite bluntly, to just shut up. Allow the Lord to speak to us. Remember what I said before. God is trying to get through to us, but often we put God in second place. And our minds are full of distractions and thoughts, and sometimes we don't even forget to shut this off before we sit down to pray. We don't like it when somebody else pulls out that phone when we're in the middle of a conversation and puts us in second place. Let's not put God in second place. Put him where he belongs, at the center of our life, and listen to him. God's waiting to get through